Thunderblade might just be the best super scalar game of all time, and is at least the definitive way to do a super scalar. Also, I want to add this in real fast. I say this game came out a lot of times in 1989, and it was actually 87. I thought I should correct this because that makes it seem even more like awesome. But yeah, I do say 89 a lot in this video, but no, it's actually 87. This was a 1987 release, and that just makes the game even more impressive. That being said, enjoy your video. Hey Slayers, I'm the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64, and welcome to Thunderblade. What was this, was it 89? This was 89, right? I think this was 89, Sega game for the arcade, obviously, you know what I'm saying? It was obviously an arcade game, and as you could tell, it's a super scalar, but it is what I call the definitive way to do a super scalar. This game is beautiful. Like, you would think this, I actually thought this game was 3D. It legitimately looks 3D. I mean, it may not look like it now. You might be thinking, seriously, this is just a normal top-down shooter. What's so special about this? You'll see in any second now, if we can get there. Here we go. It may just be a top-down shooter, but it is also a forward shooter. And look at these buildings. The Sega used a beautiful effect in which I like to call just placing multiple sprites over each other, and it's intentional. It's supposed to look like that, but what they did was they took multiple versions of the same sprite and placed them on top of each other to give you a 3D building effect like no other game had at the time. Look at the buildings. They legitimately look 3D. I mean, you can tell they're sprites stacked on each other, but at the same time, they look amazing. Okay, the game itself looks amazing, and it legitimately looks like polygons. Like, literally, I can't tell you how many times this game legitimately amazed me, and I could have believed if I didn't know anybody, you could convince me I was playing a PS1 game. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The graphics are beautiful. The gameplay, don't get me started on the gameplay, right? So the gameplay is just, your normal, like, what do you call these things? Shooters, right? Shooters, scalars, shooters. It's just your normal, helicopter shooter. Nothing special. You have your A button. You have your A button, which would be your machine gun, and then you have your B button, which is your missiles. Now, this game would have used a flight stick back in the day. Obviously, I'm not on the real arcade, so I'm not using a flight stick. I'm using just a normal joystick. And oh dang it, did I actually? Oh, return. Oh, you can actually have speed hacks. I didn't mean to mess with that though. And I clearly died because I was supposed to I was supposed to put more coins in than what I actually did put in. Let me just do that real fast. But yeah, the game is just, oh my god, these graphics are what really sells it for me, you know what I'm saying? But the gameplay is fun, the music is awesome. You already know, I shouldn't even have to tell you the music is awesome. I'll let you listen to some of it right here. See, as you can see, the music is just like completely awesome. It sounds great, and I don't know why I'm stationary. Okay, there we go. Okay, it sounds great. It sounds like awesome. It's an awesome sounding soundtrack. Personally, to me, I love the soundtrack of this game, and it's one of my all-time favorites when it comes to Sega Super Scalars. But man, these graphics are like, dude, can you just stop? These graphics are just like outstanding. Like, just take it in, okay? Just take it in. It's 1989. I think, like I said, I think this game was an 89 release. It's 1989. You're sitting in the arcade. You walk up. You're looking to play you some Outrun, maybe some Super Hang On. You know what I'm saying? Power Drifters. They weren't. I don't think that was out yet. But Power Drifters, and then you see this. Like, who wouldn't want to play this? Cool. It's like every boy's dream. You know what I'm saying? An action movie with cool helicopters, cool explosions, beautiful like at the time what I would have called revolutionary graphics. Like, dude, just this right here, at least for me, changed my want to change was one of the games to change my opinions on super scalers. Like, originally I didn't think they were that cool, but then when I saw this, that's when I really gained my true respect for it. I said Space Hero was the game that made me truly believe in the fun of super scalers. Well, this was the game that truly made me like just respect the platform to no end. Like, literally, to the fact I still think super scalers would do great today. You know what I'm saying? They probably wouldn't take a lot of power to make. You know what I'm saying? They might be cheap to make at that, especially in the new age, and they still have give convincing 3D. And like, dude, just look at these colors and sound. You know what I'm saying? This is something you expect the Sega Saturn to put out. You know what I'm saying? Not an arcade game in 1989. This also, I should also mention, this did get a Genesis port, and it obviously doesn't look as good. I don't think I have it on here, but maybe I'll do a video on that separately one day, and then maybe we'll do a thing. We'll do another like super hang on thing where we compare the games. But I mean, just man, take a look at these graphics, and the way it goes from top down to, what would you call, I can't think of what you would call that, you know, the back or behind view. You know what I'm saying? The way it can go from top down to the behind view is just perfect. And you know, even emulating this game, because from what I hear, Super Thunderblade is this rare cabinet to find nowadays. You know what I'm saying? That's just from what I heard doing my own research. Even emulating this, it plays perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was designed for a flight stick, it still plays perfectly fine with the controller. You can easily get away with it. Just put a bunch of coins in. We'll put a few more coins in. But you can easily get away with it. And you know, I do. While I can say there is one thing you are missing, and that's the speed throttle. But if you're on PC, you know what I'm saying, you probably won't miss that. You know what I'm saying. Now, me recording this on mobile, I don't really have a way to have the little speed throttle thing, so I don't have the speed. So I can't increase my speed, but still, you would have that on a normal arcade game. And just like, I think, what is there, 4 or 5 stages? There's 4 or 5 stages here, but I mean, just look at these graphics, man. Look at the explosions. The explosions are literally PS1 explosions, like, straight up. And that was revolutionary for the time. Look at the mountains. The way they use that convincing effect. Like, it legit looks convincing. I would call this one of, if not the best looking super scaler of all time. Power Drifters does give this a run for its money though, so I haven't fully decided yet. But this is one of, definitely, it is definitely the best for when it came out. Like, honestly, I mean, look, the way you can just appreciate it's like, it's simple gameplay. It's obviously hard because it was designed to be hard, you know. Got to get those quarters, you know what I'm saying? If anything you touch on the side immediately kills you. But you know, because that's just the arcade version, though. It was designed to get those corners. It's obviously short. It's not long, like I said. You can beat the whole game in maybe 20 minutes at most, and that's being like, how do you call it, generous. That's being generous at most, but still, it is totally an enjoyable little experience that you can get through. And I mean, just look at the way they do the mountains, the way the stages transition. Now, there's obviously going to be popping, because what game doesn't have popping? There's still games today with popping. GTA, Grand Theft Auto 5 on the freaking Xbox 360 has popping. Okay, so they're even on the Xbox One it has popping from what I hear. So you know, don't expect, like, you're not gonna come to this expecting no popping or something like that. But just still, I mean, these graphics, dude, it's really, I'd say the graphics and I mean, the gameplay is awesome, but it's really just, you know, it's not too different from your average helicopter shooter of their time. It's the graphics and I'd say the music that are the highlight of this game that should really keep you coming back to it. And with that being said, there's not too much here left to say on Super Thunderblade. Great graphics, great music, great gameplay, cool, good stages, long enough, pretty, not so nice difficulty, obviously, because, you know, quarter gobbler, you know what I'm saying? So there's, you know, you don't have the nicest difficulty, but the game is still, like, extreme, it's playable. And, you know, you can just see, when you're in the arcade, when you're playing arcade emulation, you have an advantage that you don't have on, on like a real arcade, and that is you can just literally put as many quarters in as you want and keep going. So if you die, just press the start button and you will immediately come back to life because you have 999 credits. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best part. That's the best. I'd say the best way to still play this is the arcade version. Like I haven't, like I said, I don't think I've done a video on the Genesis version yet, but when I do, I can confidently say right now that this will still be the definitive version. Although I think the Genesis version might add a few extra modes, you know what I'm saying? There's no multiplayer from what I know of. With that being said, that's really all I have to say about Super Thunderblade. Just a great game with great music, great visuals, and probably the greatest super scalar of all time in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just look at the graphics. Those things blow my mind. You know what I'm saying? The stuff this game is just pulling off just blows my mind, like legit. That being said, if you're new here, if you could subscribe, that'd be really awesome. We're trying to reach 200 subscribers and you'd be helping us out a lot. Make sure to share this video with your friends to become a Super Slayer. I've been the world's coolest Sega enthusiast, Sega Slayer 64, and until next time, have a good one, Slayers.